again, and I am here with my husband Rafael and Tum. This is Tuna. Alright, so.
What we have for today?
Am I the asshole?
Am I the asshole? Probably.
D. Am I the asshole for thinking it is good that society is looking down on obese people? Ooh. Okay. So, me and a friend had a conversation with our girlfriends about a mutual friend of ours who started to lose weight and hitting the gym because his friends make jokes with him about him being fat. I then started to think it is good that most of society doesn't think it's good to be overweight. If people regularly stated that it's not okay, then the overweight people will start to get fit and healthy. Of course, I don't encourage or support any kind of bullying. However, I think it's a good dose of joking or similar has a more positive effect in the long run rather than a negative impulse at first. The girls then went off and ranted about how much of an asshole I am and that it's okay to be overweight and so on. I think it's okay to be overweight, but I don't think it's good and should be avoided and fought against. What do you think about it? Am I the asshole?
This is gonna get me canceled. I have a feeling because you want to know coming from an American perspective or for a Brazilian perspective.
What about I give you?
Okay, give me your perspective before I get canceled.
I think it's a fine line. So him there, he's not being an asshole because he's not saying this to the person's face. And what he says, he is not being an asshole either because he's saying, I'm not okay with bullying. But he says right here, I don't think it's good and should be avoided and fought against for people to be overweight. So he admits that being overweight might not be something healthy, right?
No, I'm waiting for your opinion.
So, like I just said, I don't think he is an asshole because he's saying like it's okay for people to be overweight, but it shouldn't be celebrated. And I agree with that. I don't think obesity should be celebrated. And this is coming from someone who was 249 pounds one time. So I don't think it's okay to be bullying people for it, but I don't think it should be celebrated.
Okay.
And that's what he's saying there. So in my opinion, maybe he should have worded a little differently.
But I
he's
think
not an asshole.
I think it all depends how you do the bullying, right? Because okay, I'm gonna get canceled by this, but please understand, I'm Brazilian, and I come from a culture that we are bullies. Like we bully each other for everything. It's not just like about weight or about like the way you look, the clothes you're wearing. Like we do this soft, playful bullying, and it's very normal to us, to our culture. But it all depends how you do this, right? Because if you go and say, oh no, pointing fingers, you should lose weight, you shouldn't,
that's very condescending.
Yeah, like having this Coca-Cola with your burger or whatever, you should just eat salad or be on a diet.
Yeah, that's condescending. That's an
different
asshole.
Story. But that's not how we do. How we do is like we start putting like nicknames, like. Oh,
so that's not an asshole.
Like. Well, yeah, it's a little bit. That's why I'm saying, like, I'm probably gonna get canceled for this. But yeah, we do put people nicknames, but I'm the first one to bully myself, like, into lose weight.
So you're the asshole to yourself.
I'm the asshole to myself because I look myself in the mirror when I start gaining weight, and I'm like, oh. You're fat ass. You have to look at yourself in the mirror. You have to take care of yourself. But that's something, it's cultural, and I don't think it's right to bully people. But in a playful way, it can be actually beneficial because a lot of people lack self-awareness. Or if they don't lack self-awareness, they lack the will to change. And then when you do little playful things, and like, hey, it might be in a way incentivizing the person to do something about it, like, because a lot of times if you just go and tell people like, oh no, it's fine, hey,
it's okay. Your arteries
your artery is about to explode, and you're about to have a stroke, and your clothes don't fit anymore, and you have to be changing your whole outfit every year, it's a problem in the both sides, because I'm enabling and supporting you being healthy.
And I think that happened in body positivity. It's good up until a certain extent, right? Once it's like unhealthy, which is what we see both spectrums. We see back in the early 2000s, eating disorders was a big issue when people were malnourished and anorexic, but then in the 2010s and 2015s and such, not the 2010s, it was still like, okay, the 2018s, the 2020s, we saw like a shift that you see that it was encouraged, I think, for someone to be bigger, and you see that it can be healthy, and people are praising it as like something marvelous.
I mean, I think it's like I said, every person know what is best to them, and I can be the judge and say, hey, you should do this or you should that with your life. Each individual has its own experiencing this planet, but yes, I do think if you really care for that person, and if you care for their well-being, and you care for the health, you want that person to be healthy and to live a longer life, and a healthier one. Yeah, it's like playfully talking and like, hey man, maybe
playfully talking, or like saying it in a serious
no,
tone?
I think you can do both. I think, if you're very good friends with the person and you see the person losing its way, you could be a little bit serious, but I think like, I remember being called, have a bunch of nicknames because I was fat growing up, and that incentivized me to actually take care of myself, and I started to be healthier and playing sports, and that I end up carrying over throughout my life. And at some point I lost my
weight.
Yeah, I lost my weight and gained weight, but like I say, I was the first one to bully myself into.
So in a way, for you, it was a positive experience, but for others,
no.
it's
And
not.
then I can see how it can be a bad experience for other people, but that also comes with my way I was raised, and like back in the day in the 70s, 80s, 90s was, especially in Brazil.
Early
I don't
2000s
know, yeah, I
was
don't know
big.
how it was here, but like I grew up like, oh, tough it up, like
Tough it up, buttercup.
yeah, and it's like, okay.
No, I think like, for example, yours was a positive experience in that sense, but I also been in the other spectrum that it could be very challenging, right? It's not a nice thing to be bullied.
But I think it's harder for women. Like, it's much harder for women than for men, because there are certain expectations to how woman looks in the society, and that's.
And I feel like women are harder on themselves.
Yeah, and then.
And harder with the peers. Like, women are harder on women than anything else, and it's not.
Yeah, and then obviously, I'm talking more in the perspective about guy friends, not girlfriends, because I'm not a person that have a lot of girlfriends.
Or guy friends.
Or guy friends. I don't have friends. Like according to my wife, I have like a half a dozen friends and that's it.
According to me, or is it true?
No, it's kind of true.
It's kind of
You know,
true.
like, I'm getting old and it's like
I think everybody.
it's easier to maintain to keep check on everybody, like they smaller your circle.
I have so much family. There's a big circle going off for this kid.
Yeah, but like for example, I will never bully a woman, right? I will never play around with a woman's weight unless with you. But like I would not say that to anybody else, not any other woman. Like, but for guy friends, like it's completely normal. We play around, we joke around. Hey, you know, like.
With your sister.
I know my sister. We let her deal with herself because my sister, we get into each other nerves, and we both have very strong personalities, and we crash.
Okay, so the Verited, I think he's not an asshole because of the way that he said it. He didn't tell anything to the actual person. And this is his opinion. Everybody is entitled to their own opinions.
Yeah.
Do you think he's an asshole?
No, I don't think he's an asshole for having an opinion. I think he will be an asshole, like I say, if he come up to strangers or people that he barely know, or you know, and start making these comments. But if he's his boyfriends, you know, his friends from the gym or his friends from...
No, it was... He said it to his girlfriend about a friend.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's an asshole for that. I think it would be an asshole to bully other women.
Yeah. It's like when I was bigger, my grandmother's friend would, every time I would see this old lady, kid you not, "Hi, Andrea, you look fat." That's what she said. And like, she would annoy me so much. Ugh. But yeah, it was rude.
Yeah, but you see a woman being hard on each other.
This lady was like, at that time, like 70 something years old. "You look so fat." Or like, would go, rude. I was a child. Anyways, alrighty guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed our conversation.
Yeah, don't
And
cancel me, please.
don't
because,
cancel us.
Different culture. So
Because you have a different culture.
Yeah, different
Because you have
culture.
an opinion.
Yeah, I'm from the Amazon. I'm ambitious.
He's from the Amazon. No, he's not. Alright, thank you.
Thank you. If you like it, don't forget to subscribe and leave your comment. Bye.
Bye.